The person you become is shaped not by the challenges you avoid, but by how you choose to face the ones that terrify you most. Growth begins the moment you stop waiting for permission to become who you've always known you could be. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place to visit, but nothing meaningful ever grows there. Expansion requires discomfort. The stories you tell yourself about your limitations become the walls of your prison. Change the story. Escape the cage. Self-awareness is the first step to freedom, but self-acceptance is the bridge that carries you across to transformation. You cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge, and you cannot change what you're not willing to confront. The work you do on yourself in private determines the person you become in public. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're investing in a version of yourself you haven't met yet. Your past mistakes are not your identity. They are the raw materials from which you build your wisdom. The gap between who you are and who you want to become is filled with the choices you make daily. True strength isn't measured by what you can handle, but by your willingness to grow through what you cannot avoid. The most courageous thing you can do is outgrow the version of yourself that others have grown comfortable with. Self-improvement without self-compassion is just another form of self-abuse disguised as progress. Your breakthrough is often disguised as a breakdown. What feels like falling apart is sometimes falling into place. The person who judges your journey has never walked your path. Trust your process, not their opinions. Growth is not about becoming someone new. It's about removing everything that isn't authentically you. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of questions you ask yourself daily. You attract what you are, not what you want. Become the person who naturally attracts your dreams. Every setback is a setup for a comeback if you're willing to extract the lesson and apply the wisdom. The moment you stop seeking approval from others is the moment you start finding approval within yourself. Your inner critic is often just your past fears speaking with your present voice. Learn to distinguish between wisdom and worry. Personal growth is not a destination you arrive at, but a way of traveling through life with intention and awareness. The habits you build in private become the character you display in public. Choose them wisely. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Self-care is not selfish. It's essential for sustainable growth. The distance between your current reality and your desired future is measured in daily choices, not grand gestures. Growth requires letting go of who you've been to make space for who you're becoming. This death is necessary for rebirth. Your potential is not limited by your past performance. Every moment offers a fresh opportunity to evolve. The work of becoming yourself is the most important work you'll ever do, and it's never truly finished. Healing is not about returning to who you were before the pain, but integrating the experience into who you're becoming. The relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. Make it a loving one.
The strongest people aren't those who never fall, but those who rise each time with greater wisdom and deeper compassion. Your triggers are your teachers. They show you exactly where your healing work needs to begin. Stop trying to fix yourself. You're not broken. You're simply unlearning patterns that no longer serve your highest good. The voice that tells you you're not ready is the same voice that will say you're too late. Start anyway. Growth happens in the uncomfortable space between who you've been and who you're brave enough to become. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love, especially the love you give yourself. The most profound transformations happen not when you add more to your life, but when you remove what doesn't belong. Your emotional reactions are data, not directives. Learn to observe them without being controlled by them. The journey of self-discovery is not about finding yourself, but about creating yourself consciously and deliberately. Every time you choose authenticity over approval, you strengthen the foundation of your true self. Your growth is not a competition with others. Your only rival is the person you were yesterday. The courage to be vulnerable is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. Embrace your imperfections. You cannot change your past, but you can change your story about your past. This changes everything. The person who says, "I can't," and the person who says, "I will," are both right. Choose your words wisely. Self-love is not a feeling you must wait for, but a practice you must cultivate daily through your actions. Your intuition is your internal compass. The more you trust it, the more accurately it guides you. Progress is not always visible. Sometimes the most important growth happens in the quiet moments of self-reflection. The fear of being judged is often more painful than the judgment itself. Free yourself from imaginary prisons. You are not responsible for your first thought, but you are responsible for your second thought and your first action. The person you're becoming is already inside you, waiting for you to stop being afraid of your own potential. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but bridges to healthier relationships built on mutual respect. Your worth is not determined by your productivity, your achievements, or your ability to please others. The most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Make it a kind one. Growth requires both the courage to change what you can and the wisdom to accept what you cannot.